I thought I'd end the year by looking back at all the commissions and sort of passion projects that I've done throughout this year. And I want to just talk about each one and kind of show my thoughts on things and really kind of evaluate like my top 5 by the end of the video. So with the new year coming in, and hopefully it'll be a good one, fingers crossed. Let's have a look at my work from this year. So I started the year really with doing something that I wanted to do, which was the making the fastest shed. Now this beast is absolutely incredible, and I thought, why not do a miniature of it? I'd not seen it done, so I've displayed it as it's going across Pendine Beach, which is where it's got one of its Guinness World Records for its speed as a shed. I mean, the fastest shed. I mean, you know, but I absolutely love doing this, and you know, trying to kind of get the wood grain sort of effect on the plastic and things, and all the little details. Yeah, it was that was a real nice one to kind of do. I swiftly moved on to though post boxes, and I got it in my head. I thought, all right, let's do a load of traditional post boxes. So yeah, I did quite a few. Did this one with a tree wrapped around it, which I thought was quite a nice idea. Snowy scene, got to really do that. This one's by like a harbour or something. I had a picture of it, reference where it's from. This one's just a standard corner of a street. Get them quite a bit. A country lane sort of one with a bit of a style behind it, a bit of a fence. This one's like a corner of somebody's sort of garden, or you know, stone wall behind it. Just a one on a verge somewhere. I had this one that was like a Guernsey post box, which I thought was quite unique. This one was a kind of almost a tribute to Russel Brooks, I suppose, rally driver that is from my area and where I've grown up, and epic driver, absolutely fantastic, and the Irish Manta as well. So I resprayed all this as a whole like video showing. I think making the trees actually that I did, but yeah, the bales were fun to do because they're static grass basically. So this was a commission piece that was very unexpected, and it's called A Jarring Situation, and it actually shows a murder that's been taking place and the burial of the victim, which and somebody the other side of the gate watching on. But that's you kind of hopefully don't realise whether that axe had anything to do with it. Who knows? But yeah, in the wheelbarrow there are some legs sticking out. And the top-down view as well is quite good. But hopefully, yeah, the person that bought this or commissioned me to do it is enjoying it in whichever way they wish to. But it's a nice photo as well. Now, something really unexpected I didn't think I'd be doing this year was a book nook, which inserts between books, you know, on a shelf. I did my sketches for it and things, but it was quite a detailed thing. This was a bit of a process. At the bottom there's a kind of a post box, so that the little girl of the chap that bought it, she can then post her like letters to the fairies. You see, that was kind of the idea. But you can go and watch the full video on making this, which hopefully will show a little bit of detail on how I did things. I enjoyed doing the toadstools; those were particularly good, and the fungi as well. That was a lot of good fun. Now this one was just something I promised to do when I reached 1,000 followers, and I believe I was at 3,000 by the time I actually got the hanger kind of built. But Thunderbirds has been a massive inspiration for technology and things for me growing up, and so it just had to be done eventually. And I did a stop motion animation sort of thing with it in the end as well, which was a lot of fun to do. Loads of enjoyment, and yeah, the swimming pool, that was good fun to make that move. Now this one came out of nowhere for me. It was not a commission. I just saw the idea in my head and I was like, I've got to do this. Why not? So as you can see with the references, and that's what I was trying to replicate, all those details in the cab of the Flying Scotsman. And I just thought, like, why not? So as you can see, yeah, I went to town on this thing and I poured myself into it just for passion, just because all the details, I mean, I couldn't not really. I had the cab with different numbers that it had or something, and also I put a flickering orange LED in there just to kind of like show that the firebox works, which if I didn't do that I'd just be kicking myself for years, because you've got to do that. But I'd actually really like to do like mallard or something of this, so yeah, this sold and things, and so if anyone's interested, let me know. Now this was another idea that I had out of nowhere, which was to do the World Cup winning ball from 1966, and I thought, Milliput, you know, I can carve around a ping pong ball. You know, these are the kind of ideas I have at like 1-2 o'clock in the morning. I sit up and go, oh, I've got to do it. But yeah, I put them inside this little acrylic box, and yeah, this one's now in my Etsy shop. Still looking for a home, but yeah, I love this one. And then from that came like a memory for me really of playing football and things, which was like a training day, you know, and you got your bag of balls and like the cones and things, and I really wanted to try and replicate them. The shine on that, actually, I'm quite proud of. Obviously the little tactics on the clipboard I had to do as well. A crack phone, there's always a crack phone about with football. Those boots as well, I did own a pair of them, that type, at some point, so those are, oh, it was so pleasurable to do those. The water bottles, those were really cool to carve and things. And this one, again, it came from all the same kind of idea, was this rugged football look. And I thought, I've got to do this. I've not seen this done and I need to do it. So, but strangely enough, as proud as I was with doing the football and the tattedness of it, the concrete effect, the tarmac, that's the thing where I learned a lot, because I learned how to stipple colours onto the concrete and make it look like it's actually worn, and I do think it works, and I love going back and looking at this. But all these 3 bits are in my Etsy shop right now, so yeah, really good. Now this one, a little bit like the Flying Scotsman, after that sold, I kind of just went straight into this and was like, I need to plan doing the front end of an Audiquattro or a car or something. And for me, I love this car so much, and the power it possesses. And you can see from the references, that's what I was trying to replicate. So I went absolutely full out on the detail on this again. Had to obviously put the lights in. I just thought that's got to be done. Doing the spotlights was quite fiddly, because the wires are kind of like intertwined through the grille. But yeah, you can see like the effect that it had, and the thinking that I had to put into it all. And oh my god, it was a proper challenge, this. And but I personally think it came out looking all right. And put it in this frame. I drilled into the side of it so I could put the battery and the press button for it as well, which was the first time I think I've done that, and I've carried on doing that since, because I really like the way that works. But yeah, overall you can see with my hand, that's the scale of it. But that's for sale in my Etsy shop as well. Now this commission was like a lockdown project. I mean, the others were, but this was a commission within the lockdown that I was focused on, where I needed to replicate 2 of the same cottage, Rose Cottage, that's what it's called. And this was a challenge in itself to get them close, you know, so that they looked, you know, identical. And yeah, it did mess with my mind a little bit, having 2 on the go, trying to do the same thing. But you can see the full video on this. I talked through it and everything recently, and you know, and explain quite a few details about it and things. So yeah, feel free to go and check that out and enjoy that video. And this one was really very personal to me, because this told a story of something that I've been through, and yeah, of one door closing and another one opens, and it's just this reminder that there's always positives out there. There's always you know, a route forward, even if you can't see it, a door will open, and there's quite a few things in my life where that's happened, and I'm quite proud to be able to say that I'm always moving forward because of this kind of thought pattern. But yeah, that was really important to me. This one, again, another passion project actually, which was a corner shop, and I just had to do it. I was like, it's kind of like a test piece for doing some bigger stuff that you'll see that I went on to do in the year. But yeah, there's a couple of jokes in there, you know, on the daily news stand, which I quite like. But yeah, it was just me really playing with my sense of humour and things, and all the things that I'm related to, this sort of oldie worldy kind of corner shop, Lion's Tea, that kind of thing. Now this commission was for somebody that I know really well, and they absolutely love like The Shining, and they came to me and were like, come on, can you make this for me? And I was like, do you know what, I've never done this. I'd actually not seen The Shining at this point. I thought, let's do it. Again, there is a video on my YouTube channel where you can like go and have a watch of me talk more depth about it, but yeah, I absolutely loved it in this little one, really good. And this commission came from like over like a year of discussion pretty much, or you know, it built up to actually doing it. But I had to respray this car and turn it in from an ordinary Renault 5 into a Renault 5 Turbo GT. It was absolutely fantastic. But you had this idea, I needed to make it jump over a crest, so I curved the back seat, and so pretty much most of the angles you get, it does look like it's flying. That was a challenge in itself. The trees, I had to kind of you'll see like I cut them shorter, so it does look like they're going off into the distance. There were all sorts of aspects that I needed to make sure from every angle it worked, and sending this to France, that was an absolute challenge in itself. I think one of the wing mirrors fell off, but to actually see a picture of the chap's dad with it in his hand was absolutely amazing, priceless stuff, but a commission I really enjoyed. Hawker's Hut, this was incredible, for somebody that was living with cancer, and I really put myself into this because I knew how much this would mean to somebody, to be able to visit somewhere that they potentially wouldn't visit again. It was a big ask, but those are the kind of pressures I enjoy dealing with, and yeah, I absolutely love this. And again, there is a video on this commission and on my YouTube channel, and you can hear a little bit more about it. It's beautiful. This commission was absolutely epic for me to do. A larger car, 1/24 scale, to create those dirt splashes, like, are absolutely fantastic. But yeah, again, it was one of these things where this is a well-known car to the chap that had asked me to do it for his dad. But absolutely, honestly, any chance to do anything more at this scale, 1/24, I feel like it's becoming my actual scale, 1/24 scale, and you know. But I love doing this. This was so good to do. Bybre Cottage, yeah, this wasn't a commission, and I didn't know if I was going to sell it or not, but I did in the end. But it honestly, it was another one where I had to do it. I was like a tiny little cottage in a jar, you know. It's got to be done. But yeah, it's just that kind of Cotswold feeling. I love the Cotswolds. I've been there many times. I'm never been too far away from that kind of stuff, so brickwork. But I thought, why not? Let's have a go at this. And actually, I think I used filler to do the brickwork on, which was all good fun. The little gate as well. That was actually a little fence that I had that I turned into a gate. But all the slate tiles, everything, you know. But that went to Canada in the end, I think, this one. We got 4 places. The Cotswolds in Canada, who knew? And yeah, there's kind of a simple underneath that I did for it, really. On-off switch and that. Pop-ins. This place, nobody seems to understand why, but it really means everything to me. I've been in there so many times over the years, but again, I had to do it. I just found myself compelled to make this, and this is what happens with me. I just get carried away with the thoughts of things, and Absolutely loved it, and obviously there's plenty of videos covering this in my behind the scenes weekly stuff that I do, so you can kind of go back and watch like weeks worth of like rebuilding this up. But for Poppins to actually buy it in the end and actually display it in their window around where the main door is for the restaurant now, that was topped off my year, to be honest, and I'm really grateful that they actually thought it was worth buying and having in their shop, so you can go and see it in Poppins. Yeah. And make a breakfast. I've had plenty of them in my time. But yeah, there is a video that I did on this, like kind of just summing it all up recently, so yeah, you'll be able to hear my thoughts even further on this, obviously. And this one came kind of off the back of Poppins, but was a commission that I was asked to do for Toys and Games of Worcester. There is the real thing, that's the real place. But yeah, recently obviously I've been working on this and trying to get it to look as good as I could get. And I gifted it to them recently. I took it to the shop, and so yeah, they have it now, they own it, and you know, it was intended as a gift for them. But yeah, I also thought, like, obviously I've been talking about it in recent videos, so you might want to kind of see, you know, the finished piece here. And this was the final one of the year, which I kind of did in between the last couple of projects you've just seen. But it was basically where I had to take this coach and turn it into a coach that my close family member of mine used to drive before, unfortunately, their company, Dudley's Coaches, closed down. But this was a Christmas gift that I decided to do off my own bat for free from a family member. And yeah, I thought, you know, I think I talked about it recently in a video, but you know, this is what I was working on behind the scenes, like really behind the scenes. And I honestly, doing this was really fun, actually, because I did one years ago for him as well, but then I thought, no, I need to do a better job. I've got the skill set to do it now. So honestly, I was really pleased with this. So you know, I mean, I enjoy respraying things anyway, but this was kind of like, yeah, it I don't know, it kind of patched up a scar for me of not doing such a good job in the past. So but yeah, you can see I thoroughly enjoy doing it. I put a button underneath so you could turn the lights on and off as well, and the battery as well, so as you can see, yeah, there's all the lighting on the coach. Yeah, it looked really good, I thought. So this is my top 5 for the year. So Bybre Cottage, I had at number 5. I was really enjoyed doing that, and yeah, pleased I did it. Really good. Number 4 was the Peugeot 205, which, yeah, I absolutely loved doing in that scale. Fantastic to do. That was number 4. Number 3 was Poppins. I think probably people thought that might be number 1, but no, number 3 for me, that one. Even though like it's still up there. I mean, it might as well be, but number 2, because I really connected with it and it really meant a lot to me, was this piece. One door closes, another one opens. Had to dive deep for that one. And number 1 was Hawker's Hut. My favourite piece of the year that I've done in 2020, because it does signify hope, and I feel that it was really important for the person that I was making it for. And I actually received a card off them as well, which kind of, yeah, it was really emotional, because it thanked me for obviously doing it, but it also explained like how that piece affected them, how that piece, how it helped in that time, you know. And so it was really important to kind of have all these connections with these people that had either asked me to do that piece, lovely lady called Kerry, and the fact that she had that idea, she brought it to me, I made it, I sent it to the chap that she wanted it to go to, and the fact that it all kind of married up and put a smile on somebody's face basically at the end of the day, and in such a difficult year as well. I feel like, I feel quite humbled to be asked to do that, really. And yeah, so overall, that is my selection for the year, and I've enjoyed every bit of it. It's my busiest year I've had, and I'm starting to wonder whether next year's whether it's going to be the same or what it's going to look like. Who knows? But all I know is a year ago from now, things like pop-ins, things like Hawker's Hut, those are the only things I could imagine being either asked to do or making myself. So it just shows what a year can do for anybody, I think, when you put your mind to things. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you've had a lovely Christmas. I hope that you have a fantastic new year as well. I want to thank you for subscribing and keeping up, with some of the fantastic comments that you kind of feedback to me. I love feedback, so I like to know things about what I'm doing and how you perceive things as well. That's really important to me. And we're building a community here. I mean, I've got a community on Instagram that I work closely with and talk with regularly. But on here as well, that's magic, to have those two sort of platforms working like that. So yeah, so all stay safe, and let's take 2021 on in style.